They're still basking in the glory of finally beating their bitter rivals last start, but in the 12 days of rest since, they've lost second spot on the table to the Mariners. So Adelaide United will be desperate for another emphatic win against North Queensland, whose only goal now is to avoid the wooden spoon. Let's check on the team news. And the hosts make 2 changes to the starting 11, which hammered the victory 4-1. With Eugene Galekovic's wrist now ready for the rigours of football, so Mark Birighitti returns to the bench, along with Robbie Cornthwaite, who's replaced in the heart of defence by Nigel Bogard, who's overcome a groin problem. No prizes for guessing who leads the attack. 7 goals in 8 games has shot Sergio Van Dijk to the top of the Golden Boot standings, and he also boasts 3 goals in 5 games against the Fury. The biggest news, arguably, is on the bench, with young gun Matthew Leckie set for his first action since October 29 after knee surgery. Franz Stracker's rotation policy designed to give more players game time ends tonight as he brings back 4 senior squad members. Youngsters Usai, Sipi and Cernak are dropped following the 4-0 loss on the Gold Coast, while Tavstan Sioglu's injury replacement deal has come to an end. So Justin Passfield returns in goal, David Williams and Jason Spaniolo are the inclusions up front, while the skipper also returns. Ufuk Talay has missed the last 3 games with a hamstring strain, and his presence in the centre of the park is something the Fury desperately need after lacking direction in recent weeks. Cernak, Studman and Sipi, the players on the bench. Well, the football community has been busy donating to the victims of the Queensland floods, and it continues right across the weekend, which the FFA has designated as the flood relief round. And we will be pausing for a moment's silence.
Please stand for a moment of silence in respect for those that passed away and the families and friends that have been affected. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Kick-off is coming up right after this. A beautiful night in the city of churches, 27 degrees at the moment. Fair breeze is whipping up and almost the entire stadium now in shade, which the players will welcome for this 7:30 local time kickoff. Our referee for this one is Peter Green, game number 74 in the Hyundai A-League for him. Rinnie Coolin has been saying he's targeting 5 straight wins to finish the season and ensure the race for the top 2 remains in their hands. Of course, they've got the Mariners coming here shortly. And Franz Stracker, who missed the last trip to Adelaide, of course, when he was holed up with the flu in Townsville, he'll have them fired up. It was their worst first half performance ever when they came here last time. He'll certainly have them ready to go tonight. And the 2 keepers tonight, both returning. Eugene Galekovic, hoping he doesn't rack up the 100 in terms of saves, hoping for a quiet night and another clean sheet. While Justin Passfield is back after sitting on the bench and letting Sebastian Usai have a go, but 7 goals let in the last 2 games. So he returns tonight as that rotation policy ends. So Adelaide United get this one underway, attacking Justin Passfield's goal to the right of screen. Paul Trimboli alongside for the call, and 18 goals in the last 5 games between these two. Do you expect a bit of a shootout tonight?
I expect a wonderful night's entertainment, as it often is here at Hindmarsh Stadium on a Friday night. Beautiful evening for football. Adelaide finding themselves under a little bit of pressure, losing that coveted top 2 position to the Central Coast Mariners. And North Queensland Fury, well, they need to really stop the rot They'll welcome back David Williams. They need a goal. Only 3 goals in their last 9 games. You're not going to win too many football matches with that sort of ratio. So hopefully David Williams can provide that tonight.
Pretty amazing that Adelaide United lose second spot when they're coming off their brilliant win against the Melbourne Victory, of course, 4-1, ending that losing streak against Ernie Merrick's men, and here they are losing a spot on the ladder after 12 days rest.
Yeah, incredible. It was probably their highlight of the season, wasn't it? Such a wonderful occasion. Stunning victory.
Marcos Flores taking the throw, scored in the last 2 games against the Fury. Hunger in the tackle from McDonald. And Talay, ambitious switch, straight to Ramsey in the end. There's Usuka. Cassio looking to release Ramsey, a little deflection on the way through off Panny Knickers. Another wonderful crowd in here at Hindmarsh for a Friday night. They're expecting goals tonight. Optimistic fans hoping for 6 so they can reclaim second spot tonight. On goals scored from the Mariners, that's what they trail. Here's a go for Ramsey, trying to use his pace in behind Hingett. And they were a little tardy, supporting in the middle. Dodd and Flores only just getting to the edge of the box when Ramsey crossed. Here's Van Dijk. Can't get past Okoto. It's a chance perhaps they should have made more of.
Yeah, just really gave you an indication of the speed of Ramsey. Van Dijk's touch was speculative. Ramsey just ate up the turf very quick, but in the end, as you said, the natural striker was the one who played the ball in. It was Dodd, and Flores probably was not expecting it.
Hughes being pressed by Grossman, forced to retreat. And good pressing right across the field from the Fury here, but Watson's was going to play it out, but he showed too much of it to Killian. They were 2-0 down inside 16 minutes on their last visit here. A more encouraging start so far from the Fury. Here's a go though for Ramsey. Playing in Van Dijk. Trying to set up Flores in the middle. And they've got a goal already. Marcos Flores is 3rd in 3 games against the Fury. What a ball from Van Dijk and what a header from the Argentine.
Well, it was role reversal, wasn't it? So often we've seen Marcos Flores, the architect, with other players benefiting from that work, but Serge Van Dijk, he drifted wide into the channel and Ramsey played him in, and all of a sudden it was a pinpoint ball that gave Flores the opportunity to attack the ball, and didn't he punish the header? Wonderful technique, brilliant from the midfield general. Beautiful setup, Van Dijk, eyes up the whole way through it. Brilliantly executed from the Adelaide United.
Goal number 7 from Flores. An emphatic header. McDonald and Talay both on the scene. I think he might have got his GPS system out of the back of his shirt there. Coaching staff won't be happy. They might not be able to track his distance covered, but he's already done his job. He's given them an early lead.
Well, we spoke moments earlier that he may have been a little bit slow to get in the box for the Ramsey effort, but not that time. And what about the desperation and desire? There was some pretty heavy traffic approaching the football, but he wanted it more. And it was a beautifully executed header.
Another shocking start by the Fury. 1-0 down inside 5 minutes.
inevitable. We talked about the fast start that Adelaide got last time against North Queensland Fury, and it was that man Marcus Flores in the 5th minute that night as well. He does love this opposition, he and Serge Van Dyke.
Adelaide, nice option inside to Williams. Hughes will be able to switch it up to Killian. Movement ahead of him. McDonald dropping deep. They'll be shell-shocked, the Fury. Surely would have been the game plan to keep it tight early, and they were looking all right. They looked fired up as we expected them to be, but sometimes you've got to admire the brilliance of Adelaide United, the way they worked that goal.
Oh, it was clinical, wasn't it? It was so slick. It was very simple, but very efficient. Give Serge Van Dyke some credit too. Got out of that central striking position into the channel to give Ramsey something. And then the way he just lifted that ball into the box for Flores to attack. Wonderful synergy between the front three.
McDonald with some time. Now Talley, Grossman's off from deep. He's got a chance here too, taking on Cassio. Grossman just never got hold of the shot. That was a terrific chance and well worked.
Yeah, lovely switch of the play by the North Queensland Fury, and Grossman had the right idea.
Here's Dodd at the other end, played in. Trying to drop it into space for Van Dyke. Wasn't a bad idea.
That's the threat that Adelaide poses. They've got that speed as we see Flores. That's a wonderful attack on the football. He only had eyes for the ball. Defenders were coming at him at a rate of knots, but he kept his composure.
Here's a go for Spaniolo in behind Bogart. So encouraging signs for the Fury that they can hit back here. Grossman and now Spaniolo in behind.
And the willingness to run forward of the ball and give that option to the midfield. As we've said, Grossman, he had the right idea. He tried to come back inside Cassio, put Cassio on his wrong foot. This time it was Hughes with the long ball, looking for the speed of Spaniolo, couldn't bring it down.
Killian and Hughes solid in the challenge there. No whistle. Passfield just taking his time. Looking for Williams for a flick on, but Fife with an emphatic header. Flores was still getting back on side. Disappointing ball from Okoto, who holds his hand up to apologise to the front men. Cassio eventually to Van Dyke. Annie Nicker strong in the challenge. Okoto gives it away, but it breaks nicely for Spaniolo. Plenty of teammates ahead of Talley. This is better from the Fury. Watson just harassing McDonald. Fife wanted to let it run to Galekovic, who's now forced to clear by foot. Hold up play from Van Dyke, giving the Reds a chance here. Cassio with the big switch, again looking for Dodd. Killian had to execute. Talley, nice ball, dropping it over the top to Hingert, who's getting forward. No angle to thread it through to Nickers, so back to the captain. Hughes waited for Dodd, and the presence of the Red skipper forced that throw in.
It's better from the North Queensland Fury, being patient, keep the ball, deny Adelaide possession. You don't want to let them build up that momentum, especially already a goal to the good. North Queensland need to be judicious in their use of the football.
Adelaide given no room to move, thought about throwing an elbow at Usulka. That's a battle to watch throughout this game.
Yeah, Usulka was very impressive in his debut. See whether he can back that up tonight.
Galekovic had time for the touch. Killian's header towards an offside Spagnuolo, who touches it for good measure. Peter Green says play on anyway. Spagnuolo, former club champion for Adelaide United, of course. His first season with the club. Front Stracker's up and barking out the instructions, as you can see at the bottom of screen there. Tale was after that sort of challenge, after the Usulka moment. Ian Fife in his second last game for the club before heading off to South Korea, trying to follow in the footsteps of Sash Ognanovski. Given away by Dodd. Tale again with no option forward initially. Here's the German Killian. Dodd making amends. He knew he had to win it back after turning it over. It's better from the captain, of course. Speculation that he'll be joining the Perth Glory next season.
Yeah, lots of speculation at this time of year. Contracts coming to an end. Season winding down. But it will be a strange sight to see Travis Dodd not patrolling the flanks here at Hindmarsh. Such a wonderful servant he's been.
Nickus whipping one in. Spagnuolo! And Williams has put that one over. Goal kick given. Or how did he miss by that far? Only had to poke it home and it's 1-1. An extraordinary miss.
Well, wonderful opportunity for the Fury. First I thought Spagnuolo was with a chance. Not sure he got too much on it. And then Williams, when all he needed, virtually let the ball hit him. He stuck out that foot and he got too much contact on the ball. Wonderful chance for the Fury. Great ball in from Nickus. That teasing one just in that distance where the keeper's rooted to the line. Defenders facing their own goal. Williams can't believe he hasn't hit the target from there.
Would have been an interesting one to see whether he was offside, and looked like Spagnuolo's effort was going wide, so he had to try and poke it home. I think he's claiming that he was being tugged back by Watson as well. We'll have another look at all that in a moment. But here's another chance for Ramsey. He goes to the ground. Flores nearly had another chance. I mentioned all those goals between these two, 18 in 5, and we're on for plenty more tonight, seemingly.
Well, it came out of nowhere, as we see. Tussle in midfield, great use of the body by Flores, one of his real trademarks, drawing the free kick. They almost lulled them to sleep, the Fury. They passed it, and then finally Nickus with the clever ball in. And the key was he had two targets to aim at in the box. Spagnuolo and Williams furthest forward. No wonder French Stracker's frustrated.
Williams gets another go. Better control that time. Miscontrol from Usulka. Tale can turn out and see McDonald. Williams on the move through the middle. McDonald showing good toe, but likewise Usulka. Dodd, risky play out of the back. Spagnuolo bending one. Straight down the throat of Galekovic. Only one goal in his entire A-League career for Jason Spagnuolo, but he's playing up front tonight and he's getting his chances.
And he'll be keen to make a mark, as you mentioned earlier, against his former side, but Travis Dodd dwelling a little bit and then trying to play a difficult pass in the back third. It's all well and good to be adventurous in the front third as an attacking player, but when you're at the back, you need to be a bit more circumspect.
Van Dijk's flick on expertly to Ramsey, who goes down in the box half-hearted, cries around Hindmarsh for a spot kick.
It's just the ever-present threat, isn't it? The speed of Ramsey. Any sort of ball that's flicked on into that space, defenders have to be on their toes, need to read the play very quickly to position themselves correctly.
Cassio was looking for Usuka. Nikas. Spaniolo was trying to time his run. May well have been offside there, but throw-in goes to the Fury.
They fought back well since going behind. 10 minutes of good display here from the Fury.
Now Hingett. In and away on Cassio. They want the foul. Safety first from Ian Fife, who had no Fury player within QE. Hingett. Again, getting the better of Cassio. Williams dropping deep. Talay, a little sluggish with that ball, looking for Killian, allowing Dodd in. Still well in front in terms of possession, the Fury, but behind on the scoreboard.
They're having a good period, and Winnie Coolan just getting up off his seat. He's a little bit concerned as well. He's seeing that the momentum's definitely shifted.
They're playing some nice stuff too. Cotto's balls out of the back haven't been too accurate, but most of his teammates have been finding their mark. That's better from a Cotto, dropping it over the top of Spaniolo, who does get the whistle this time.
Much better ball from Eric Cotto. He just dropped that one into Spaniolo. He tried to lay it off first time, but he took up a good position. And he lured the defender into his back, Bugard.
Third foul against Adelaide United. Bogard preferred to Robbie Cornthwaite tonight. They may well be the two paired in the heart of defence when Ian Fife heads off to South Korea. Here's Talay, likes hitting them from this kind of range, trying to get the gnarly spin, but always rising that time.
You spoke about that centre of the defence for Adelaide. It's really been Ian Fife is the ever-present. We've seen the concerns. Cornthwaite's played in there. Bogard's had his injury concerns. Daniel Mullen as well. And once Fife leaves, all of a sudden, Winnie Coolan has to find that combination.
They let it bounce again, and Spaniolo's presence good enough to win the ball back. Here's McDonald, couple in the box too, if Talay can get one in there. Killian trying to drop it over to Grossman, who's timed his run beautifully. They want handball against him. Now Spaniolo was the target, and again Grossman totally unmarked through the middle.
Again, that run from deep, unsettling the Adelaide midfield. No one going with the runner. Clever little ball in. It was an awkward bounce. It skidded off the turf. He was trying to take the pace off it, but also allow himself the luxury of looking at the target.
Heavy touch from Killian. Fife just missing his mark again, but worries at the back, the way that they've been carved open a few times with just simple through balls. Adelaide United.
A good period here for the Fury, and Spaniolo working very hard. Great hustle from him on the front line.
Breaks for Flores. And immediately they're away on the counter. Ramsey. Van Dijk can't get past the Cotto. Good sliding challenge from the former Togo international.
That's one of the challenges for the Fury. The more forward possession they get, their defenders have to really concentrate, because at times you sense Adelaide prefer to play on the counter-attack and use the speed of Dodd and Ramsey on the flanks and the passing ability of Flores.
Flores again just bringing it down for Hughes. Van Dijk trying to go right through the middle. Never really on from Hughes. Ramsey just peeling away and leaving space for Cassio to try and take on Nickers. Fancies his chances against Nickers, who isn't exactly blessed with pace. Disappointing ball from Dodd. Cotto searching for options, and Spaniolo again provides one. Grossman just ghosting into space again. Here's Nickers trying to find Grossman, and again they're waiting for the keeper, and Grossman just needed to get a poke in, and he may well have found an equaliser too.
He's doing a good job at the moment, Chris Grossman, prepared to chance his arm from midfield. Any ball played in behind the defence is causing some angst for Adelaide United at present. We know Galekovic has missed a few weeks. Perhaps his timing may take a while to be really in sync. And that time Ian Pike needed to use the body to protect the goalkeeper. Give some credit to the Fury. They've really lifted since going behind so early. They've had the better part of the last 15 or so minutes.
Cotto, ambitious crossfield ball, stopped by Watson. Grossman and Williams combining. Now Hingett providing the run down the right. Nickers was the better option, trying his luck too, deflection, and they'll get a corner out of that one.
More good work. David Williams, wonderful composure on the football. 2 or 3 times he was trying to feed Hingett. He realised that wasn't on. Nickers came inboard and he just left it in his path. Clever work from Williams and Nickers.
Adelaide firing one in towards the setting sun. Hughes the target. Flores has a look up and sees Ramsey on the run. Killian, well read. Another chance for Talay. Grossman's ghosting through the middle. Left unmarked again. Here he is, Grossman. Watson eventually got there. A key header from the youngster.
Oh, that was wonderful work from Cameron Watson again. Great work out at midfield from Grossman to present that option, but Watson needed to be alert. Came in from the right back position into the centre of that defence to make the clearing header. Otherwise, Grossman was in.
Here's Hingett again. Strong challenge from Cassio, who thought there was a deflection on the way back out. Hingett again. Kept this one in until Cassio arrived.
For me, that's always a telling sign. The opposition are on top. When Cassio's restricted to defensive duties, we've hardly seen him in the attacking half of the field. He's been forced to defend.
Grossman again, left alone initially. Not a bad ball in. Bogart just letting it go through to his keeper. Still reckon Rennie Corn would love to get his back four together for a chat now before half-time, because they're looking disjointed at the back.
Yeah, at the moment the communication doesn't appear to be there, especially even with the midfielders. No one seems to be tracking the run of Grossman or even communicating to the back four to watch for him.
Here's Cassio getting forward, dropping the shoulder on Nickers towards Ramsey. Musakar can turn if he likes. Want to poke it through to Cassio. Ramsey. Flick was looking for Usakar. Now Williams closed down by 3 Reds. Turning it over to Dodd. Flores wants it to feet. Van Dijk got it first time. That was key intervention from Hughes, but Flores regathered.
No foul, Davey!
No foul, Davey, is the cry from the Fury. Did well to fashion room for the cross, Flores, but too much on it in the end.
Oh, he's one of the best in the competition at doing that, at freeing himself up one-on-one from a standing start. He's just so quick with the moves. At that time, he almost overhit the cross. He had too much time.
Williams just turning into trouble, it looked like, but he got the foul off Flores. He had Killian and McDonald unmarked down the left. Usakar again, so clean in the challenge. Dodd was thinking about slipping it past the Cotto. It's a risky challenge on Hughes, who cries out for a free kick. Peter Green's letting this one flow in the main. Nicely played again by the Fury. Spaniolo again, and Williams was free as a bird through the middle with a flick there. They're all at sea, Adelaide United defensively through the middle of the park. It's extraordinary. Of course, we've said Ian Fife is on his way in a couple of games' time, and Cornthwaite and Bogart is not necessarily the defensive partnership you'll see. We'll pause on that in a moment. Here's Dodd played in. 2-0 to Adelaide United, just like that. Well, they've been on the back foot ever since the goal, but a moment of class from Flores and the finish from Dodd, and 2-0.
And again, far too easy for Adelaide United. Whenever Marcus Flores can get his head up and he's got that sort of time, and Travis Dodd swapping positions with Serge Van Dijk, but the key to that was the weight of the pass. At no point did Dodd have to worry about the football. All he had to worry about was getting his head up, locating the positioning of Justin Pasfield, and then easing the ball into the corner. That is a brilliant setup from Flores and a clinical finish from Travis Dodd.
Travis Dodd, just his 3rd goal of the season. May well be bound for Perth glory if you believe the local press. Plenty of Adelaide United fans won't want to see him go, though. Had a host of chances last time they beat the Fury 2-0. Talking about their problems defensively, Adelaide United moments before that goal, and it's Fury's defence that was opened up, and they had the killer finish in the final third, which has been the difference in this one.
And it's been a concern for Franz Stracker of recent weeks, just how much traffic's gone straight through the middle of that Fury defence. We saw the Gold Coast United do it to him on several occasions. There was a peach of a ball from Marcus Flores.
Spaniolo, the meat and the sandwich. Studs up challenge from Bogart on his opposite number. Just a warning from the referee.
Yeah, Nigel Bogart launching in, catching Bradley McDonald.
Talley looking for Hughes, who made a late run, and then he handled the ball. The referee just content to give a goal kick. Had a goal come from it, though, and would have been ruled out almost certainly, but...
Yeah, it's a pattern move that the North Queensland Fury like to play. They like to isolate Hughes one-on-one. He's such a strong competitor in the air.
Ramsey wanting a foul. Peter Green again, content to wave play on. Hingett nipping at his heels. Williams took a risk there, tried to cut down Hughes as well, but he's been played in with a reverse ball from Flores. Van Dijk was the target. And they managed to scramble clear, although not by design. Eric Cotto into the back of his teammate initially. Miscontrol from Talley gives Dodd another chance. Now Hughes forward. Flores trying to pick another pass. They want offside against Hughes. No flag. Good strong header from Hughes against Usuka. Given away by Akoto again, disappointingly. Now Cassio. Ramsey trying to stay onside. Hingett can let it run.
That's on Cassio and Ramsey. Not getting their timing right. Ramsey was ready to go.
Just look at Flores go to work. How many times he linked in this play.
No, he's brilliant, isn't he? But they sat off him, and then once he got his head up, and that's far too much space in the middle of the park. And that's one of the things that Franz Stracker's talked about this season for the Fury. It's the details. They undo so much of their good work by letting in what he would describe as a soft goal. They had the numbers, they're just not tight enough in defence, not switched on enough. And against the quality of Marcus Flores, it's too easy for him. Goal scoring's never easy, but when you got service like that, you'd love to be out there, wouldn't you, Speedy?
Indeed. January can't come to an end quick enough. There was talk of him, of course, leaving in this transfer window. Flores, he is their puppet master, pulling all the strings in that move there. Here's McDonald, trying to bend one in. Cassio can deal with it. That's the difference tonight. They've had good possession in the attacking third, plenty of balls whipped in, but no real recognised striker. Spaniolo it is leading the line, and then you've got David Williams, who's probably more at home as an attacking winger, if you like, and Chris Payne and Darren Dale are at home. Not injured. Stu McLaren, the assistant coach, making it clear that Darren Dale's attitude has been poor in recent weeks. That's why he was left at home. You'd have to assume Chris Payne might be in a similar basket, given that he didn't come for this game as well. So no recognised striker, and those two perhaps guilty of letting down the fans. Dodd trying to time it for Van Dijk. Hingett tracked him well. Turned over to Cassio though. Musuka asking Watson to run after that one. McDonald getting there. Flores demanding it from Watson. He's trying to get the touches going. Patience from Fife, even though Usuka was free ahead of him. Here is Flores, room to move now. Dodd thought he could let it run to Van Dijk. Makoto again giving it away. Real concern for Franz Stracker, the number of turnovers from his centre half.
The Adelaide are a good side, but they're even better when you're gifting them possession in the attacking half of the field.
Flores again. Looked up for Van Dijk to make the run. Williams with the illegal challenge.
But at least someone made a challenge. I think in the last 10-15 minutes, no one's got near Marcus Flores.
He's left it for Cassio to come over and swing one in on the left, getting the tall timber forward. Cassio's delivery, not bad either, little flick on. And well cut out by Hughes because Van Dijk was lurking at the back post.
Oh, he was sniffing a goal then, Serge Van Dijk. Always takes up good positions. The flick on looked destined to fall to his feet. Mark Hughes, as he's done so often this season, he's one of the kings of the scrambling defence. It was a difficult ball to clear, but he did a good job facing his own goal after, I think it was Dodd with a little delicate flick.
The offside flag would surely have gone up against Sergio Van Dijk, though, had he managed to get on the end of that one. Nice delivery from Cassio, similar to the delivery we saw from Lucas Pantelis with the youth team earlier this afternoon. He really has fallen out of favour. A player who scored 3 goals against the Fury in the previous 5 games against them, and now wallowing in the youth team. Really cool and starting to shape the team that he wants. Dodd's flick on. Van Dijk, the combination there. Dodd with a burst of speed. Akoto missed him. Dodd's beaten another. Dodd passing it and setting up Flores. Brilliant stuff from Travis Dodd. Poise in the box. 3-0 up already. It's threatening to be a cricket score.
Oh, the crowd are on their feet here at Hindmarsh, and well they should. Travis Dodd, the captain's armband, and he takes the plaudits. Brilliant work on the right-hand side. He showed guile, he showed speed, and he showed composure. Stunning set-up work, and then Flores, the run from midfield with the easiest of tasks, and again that front three, lethal. And North Queensland Fury all at sea. Brilliant from Dodd.
And Flores, so used to setting up teammates, made sure that all the plaudits went to Travis Dodd. He was pointing his way after this. What about the run?
Oh, it was brilliant. And it was the awareness too. He got the initial flick on, and straight away he sensed the possibilities. Van Dijk's one of the best one-touch layoff players in the competition. With his back to goal, he fed Dodd, and then it was all about Travis. The speed, the guile, the composure. And then who popped up? Marcus Flores.
Almost half-jokingly at the start of the broadcast mentioned that 6 goals will be enough to give them second spot again ahead of the Mariners on goals scored. 7 will put them ahead on goal difference. They're halfway there already, and we're not even at half-time. Here's Cassio. Away by Grossman this time.
They need to really bear down and concentrate here, the Fury, or this could get ugly very quickly. Too much class in that front third, just the clinical nature of their work. The 3 goals have been absolutely brilliant in their execution.
What about Dodd, not content with slipping by Akoto's desperate lunge, and then the presence of mind to beat another defender who was sliding in just with a nice touch.
Oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it? To go from full speed to dead stop.
Corner variation, played to Cassio towards the penalty spot where Williams was waiting. All those chances, that lovely play from the Fury for that 10-minute spell. They couldn't find a goal, and now they're 3-0 down. And speaking of possession counts, what about that in the last 5 minutes? Offside flags up here. It's taken a while for Peter Green to realise it was in the previous phase of play.
You talk about moments in football matches, so important. The Fury needed to find that equaliser quickly, and they fashioned a wonderful chance. They didn't take it. They let Adelaide off the hook, and then the quality in this Adelaide side is starting to come through.
Ian Fife said it's a tough decision to leave a team that's in the championship mix, but opportunity doesn't knock every day to head off to South Korea. It's something he always wanted to do, play overseas, and now he gets his chance.
I think the key to that is the age that he is at, Ian Fife. He's had a wonderful career in the A-League, very successful. As you said, it would have been a tough decision. Perhaps if he was younger, he may not have gone, but I think at this stage of his career, needs to take that opportunity.
Cotto able to bring that one down and finds Talley this time. Killian can drop it over the top to McDonald. Time to shape a cross in, and Spaniolo heading's not his go. Almost seemed to duck under that one. It was beautiful delivery from McDonald.
Yeah, it was a lovely construction down the left-hand side, and Spaniolo in good position, but perhaps just got there a split second too early. In the end, he was almost reaching back to head the ball, and that's the difference at the moment between these two sides. You saw the clinical nature, especially Flores' header, and you sense if Van Dijk was in that position as well, it would have ended up in the back of the net.
Spaniolo's lone A-League goal for Adelaide United, of course, in a 4-1 win over Wellington on October 28, 2007. Long time between drinks. He finished off the scoring on that night. Tale. McDonald again, trying to get the better of Watson. Spaniolo wants it played to feet. Shapes another cross in though, McDonald on his non-preferred right. Wasn't bad either.
Yeah, I think that stat you just read lines up with what you said earlier about the natural goal scorers.
Look at the speed of Dodd, played in again. Van Dijk at the back post, Dodd went his own. Here's the tap in for Ramsey. 4-0 now, Adelaide United. Oh, the Mariners will be quaking in their boots about holding on to second spot now.
Oh, and they're really warming to the task now, Adelaide United. We spoke earlier about the challenge for the Fury was when they actually pushed forward and had possession in the front third. Once they turned it over, Adelaide loved that scenario. The speed of Dodd and the passing range of Marcos Flores, and he just eased it into the gap and he backed his winger, his captain, who just out-sprinted Killian. It was a good save for Pastoral, got down low to his right, but as has been the case, they're just sharper in that penalty area, Adelaide, and Ramsey sensed the opportunity. Easy finish, empty net.
Fourth goal of the season for Ian Ramsey, left with that simple task, and along with Ian Fife, he's the only Red to have appeared in every game this season and getting his reward there. 4-0 before half-time, and who bet against them extending the lead before we have the whistle for half-time. So red hot they are. Now Flores. Sense we're going to see some flicks and tricks too from the Argentine as this one goes on.
Oh, he's starting to run amok, isn't he? He wants the ball every opportunity.
He's got to keep their shape, Adelaide United. Everyone's thinking I'm on for a goal here. Tonight for the Fury, it was all about getting a full-strength squad back together, putting a good, strong team on the park. 4-4-2. Proved tough to beat if they could. Put in a performance for the fans. Try and get off the bottom of the table in the coming weeks. But they look destined for that wooden spoon now. 4 points adrift of Sydney FC. Just 4 games to go after this.
Yeah, looms as a very long last month of the season for the Fury.
McDonald again going to work. He's been pretty good for the Fury in a losing battle. Usulkar gives it away to Williams. Spaniolo through the middle. Tried to play it that way. Intervention from Bogard was key.
And again, good field position for the Fury, not being able to capitalise, and that's the difference between the two sides at the moment. When Adelaide get into that front third, you sense something is going to happen. When the Fury get in the front third, you think, well, something might happen. And it's just that little, it's a subtle difference, but it makes all the difference.
There's 1 minute of stoppage time to be played before France Stracker can bring them in for one heck of a team talk, you'd imagine. Another one for Spaniolo to chase. Fife can nod it back. Flores with one final chance in the first half. Challenge from Killian. Spaniolo was offside, didn't bother chasing. I think Eugene Galekovic is saying, let's head for the sheds, boys, just taking his time. Peter Green puts the whistle to the mouth, and that is half-time. Listen to the reception around Hindmarsh. They've loved what they've seen in the first 45 minutes from the Reds. Marcos Flores pulling all the strings. He's got 2 goals already, and there have been 2 others. Travis Dodd amongst the scorers and a key player in a couple of those goals. It was fantastic to watch from Adelaide United. The Fury all at sea at the back. At half-time, it's Adelaide United 4, North Queensland Fury 0.
Welcome back to Hindmarsh Stadium, where Adelaide United have run riot over North Queensland Fury. At half-time, they lead by 4 goals to nil. Marcos Flores, Travis Dodd and Sergio Van Dijk have been absolute stars of the show. Ian Ramsey there scoring the 4th goal. Don't forget, at the conclusion of this game, there is our post-game show. You can be part of it by entering the fan zone. All you have to do is get online, send us an email, or get on Twitter and send us a tweet, and the boys will answer all the big questions at the conclusion of the game. All right, we've been enjoying a bit of a fundraiser at halftime, a fundraiser for the flood victims of Queensland. It's all been brought together thanks to the fruit growers of South Australia. Mark Birighitti has been involved in a penalty shootout, and I've got to say he's been great for Adelaide United. He hasn't been too good out there today, but it's all in good fun, and of course every spot kick that gets past the keeper raises plenty more money for such a good cause. Now let's check in on the latest odds thanks to TAB Sports, but it is a little bit different this time. It's not about the result overall, this is just about the result for the second half. That's the second half, not the overall game. Adelaide United to win the second half is paying $3. The draw $1.40. For North Queensland Fury to win just the second 45 minutes, that is paying $15. Of course, you can bet live throughout the game at TAB Sportsbet. For the second half, it's back to the boys in the commentary box. Speedy and Trimmers.
Thanks very much, Mel. I think the execs at TAB Sportsbet might be having a heart attack. I reckon they'll be $1.40 Adelaide to win the second half. But anyway, what the Fury players, they must be worried as well about the prospect of leaking more goals, because there's one bloke who'll be fired up for a half-hour cameo and probably asking Rennie Coolin for a bit more. And that's Matthew Leckie, of course, who's going to come back in this second half. The North Queensland Fury making a change at half-time, as you'd expect. 4-0 down, and it's going to be Asaka Cernak who's going to come on. Get some encouragement from Stu McLaren. And he's on for Andre Killian, who was exposed for a lack of pace up against the speedster that is Travis Dodd in that first 45 minutes. So a reshuffle. Brad McDonald, who does have pace, slots back into the left back role. Picture postcard stuff in the city of churches. And what a first half the home fans have seen. So the Fury get the second half underway, trying to save some face after capitulating really in that first 45 minutes. 4-0 down to Adelaide United at half-time, who ran riot. A couple of goals to Marcos Flores, who ran the show for the Reds, and here he is. Suspicion of handball. Casio was playing it to Usaka, who was effective in that first half as well. Didn't have to do a lot, but when he did, it was clinical. Now he's pushing forward. It shows their intent already, the defensive midfielder getting forward, Trimmers.
Yeah, Usaka, he's got some appetite for the contest.
And here they go down that outlet. Travis Dodd, numbers in the box too. Van Dijk the target all the way to Ramsey. Van Dijk with a chance. It took them just a minute in the second half to make it 5. We'll get the record books handy. It's turning into an absolute annihilation.
And Serge Van Dijk, he's been instrumental in the build-up to all the goals prior to this, and finally he gets his opportunity, and it was a clever header back across the goal. But again, Adelaide United's ability to play with the three-man front line and just carve out opportunities. The deep ball was headed back cleverly by Ramsey, and that's a clever finish. That's a goal scorer who knows what's required in any situation. Deft little header back across, catching Passfield wrong-footed. Brilliant finish from Van Dijk.
Extending his lead in the Golden Boot standings with his 14th of the season and 9th in the last 8 games. The A-League record score is 6-0, of course, against Adelaide United in a grand final. Wellington did the same against Gold Coast. Adelaide United have got a 6-1 win to their credit, but we might be about to smash some A-League records tonight. Cassio now. And why wouldn't there be a hunger for goals? Because it's so tight in that race for second spot that it may well come down to goal difference. What an opportunity tonight to feast on Franz Stracker's men.
Also an opportunity for those players to cement their spots in the lineup. We know Matthew Leckie's on the bench and prepared for action. All of a sudden, they like to play the 2 wide men. They've got 3 quality ones at the moment.
Here's Grossman, who was all right in that first half, had his chances, ghosting through the middle when it looked like a Fury comeback was on, and here he is, just slicing it well wide of Galekovic's post.
And again, the Fury, they've had some good field position in that front third of the park, just haven't been able to find that clinical finish or the ruthless pass. Adelaide, on the other hand, stunning. The simplicity of the goals and the ruthless way in which they've executed them.
There's the hungriest man inside the stadium. Let me on, coach, let me on. Matthew Leckie. He's been slated for half an hour though, and I think the coach is going to keep him to that. Grossman again neat in midfield. Passfield, what a welcome back to the starting lineup for him. After watching young Sebastian Usai have his problems in the last 3 weeks. Really been at fault for none of them though. Passfield has just been a sitting duck.
He's been cruelly exposed really, hasn't he? Far too easy. Space afforded the Adelaide front men, and then the quality of the finishing. But what a luxury for Rennie Coolin. Selection headache. Where to fit Matthew Leckie back into this lineup. Because on tonight's form, Travis Dodd and Aaron Ramsey have been absolutely stunning.
Here's Cernak, the half-time change. Waiting for support. Dropping the shoulder on Watson.
Adelaide United tonight, it's a dream team from the heavens really. If you've got any of those front players from Adelaide United in your dream team lineup, there'd be points, massive points on offer. Goals, assists.
Here's Nikas. And Akoto, who was guilty of giving the ball away on a handful of occasions in that first half, finds Williams that time. Be tight here for Nikas. Tale is free through the middle. Risky ball played, forced the Akoto to stretch. Cernak. Williams. Nikas. They're staying in front in the possession stat, the Fury. Here's McDonald with a good burst of speed. Still McDonald must have thought about going down there. Wins the corner in the end. An encouraging run from the left back.
Yeah, one of the better moments in the front third. Good conviction in the run from McDonald, taking on two men. In the end, I think he was searching for someone to lay it off to.
Just the slight contact as Watson came in as well, and he was throwing the hands up immediately. It was Watson. Here's the corner, claim from Galekovic. Dodd is off and racing. So's Ramsey. Passfield eventually comes. He'll want to put this into the stands. He's able to let it run in the end. About Dodd and Ramsey, they're off to the races like a sprint race between the two of them.
That was clever thinking from Galekovic. Ian Ramsey's electrifying speed.
Fury making a second change. And Lorenzo Sippi going to come on for Grossman, who probably can feel hard done by because he's been one of the best for the Fury. Interesting to see where Sippi slots in. It's Nikas who goes into the centre of the park seemingly, and Sippi told to play as an attacking right winger. Passfield getting the hurry up. What a shot that is. And hearing it too. Flores, delightful skill. Wants it played back by Cassio. Sippi's first involvement is to dump the left back to the turf. Flores gives Cassio one to chase. Kept it in too. They were a little tardy in the middle, thinking a goal kick was going to be given. Now Dodd. They're encouraging him to shoot because he is capable from that kind of range. Couldn't keep that one down.
Well, the confidence is sky high running through Adelaide United. I felt that he may not have kept that one in. Then Cassio, in the end, another subtle touch from Flores. And then Dodd, why wouldn't you shoot?
It's only ever been one hat-trick for Adelaide United. It was Nathan Burns against the Mariners, and wow, when it's a 5-0 scoreline, you don't worry about little moments like that, do you? If a goal had come from it in a 0-0 contest, then might have talked about it for a lot longer. Again, Hughes going into the challenge with his hands in the air. The Fury's first ever visit here when hands were in the air from Dyron Dahl, of course, to give away a last-minute penalty. And a few members of the press thought he was auditioning for a spot with the Wallabies in the line-out.
There were some dramatic twists in that game. Not sure we're going to see the same thing here tonight, but you never know.
Here's a go for Spaniolo. Sippi getting forward. Williams was free. Sippi with a nice turn of speed, and he got past the challenge of Bogart, and again, he must have thought of going down.
Yeah, it was wonderful work from Sippi. Just too quick layoff from Spaniolo. That's a lovely little dummy. Bogart, he went to ground. Always a dangerous tactic inside the penalty area.
I wonder if Sippi will ever become so cynical as to drag his foot there and try and win the pen. It was on. Here's Nikas, though, left alone. Deflection. And harmlessly through to Galekovic in the end. Took the pace right off it. Distribution from Galekovic into the path of Dodd, stretching and keeping that one in too.
Brilliant work from Travis Dodd. They're 5-0 up. He would have been within his rights to perhaps let that one go and say, well, it wasn't quite right.
Now Ramsey in and away on Hingett. Great feet, looking for Van Dijk again. Hughes will latch onto it. Watson can poke it down the line to Dodd. Good challenge from Nickus. Now Williams has to bomb on. And look who's cleaning up. Usakar again. He must have made approaching 10 challenges now, and every one of them has been clean. You can see why Rini Coolwin has thrust him straight in as a first-team regular, the Uruguayan.
He's got that energy, takes pride in his work, doesn't appear to be too fussed about what he does with the ball, but he makes it his mission just to disrupt the opposition, turn the ball over for his side.
Signed a 2-year deal during the week, of course, initially here on a trial period, if you like, and Rini Coolwin certainly liked what he saw. Said, sign here, please.
They threw him in at the deep end, didn't they, in that big game against the Melbourne Victory, so they obviously had some confidence that he was up to the task, and he's proven to be just that.
One back by Sippy. Nice option too, but Nickus unable to run onto it. Look out, Dodd's away here. Flores dropping it in, Passfield comes. Oh, he had it under control, the keeper. Heart and mouth stuff for a moment there.
A lovely ball played over the top. Flores, this time perhaps just a little bit too long. Gave Passfield the opportunity, but he was in that awkward position. Is it going to stay in the box, go outside the box? He went with the feet.
For Cernak, but Watson takes it away. Cassio again, Ramsey trying to use his pace, but Passfield can come. Matthew Leckie, as we approach the hour mark, is told to go through his final warm-up. Feet from Cassio. See just at the bottom of the screen, Cornthwaite and Leckie being sent for their final run. Sippy again, he's had some nice touches since coming on. Nickus, Spaniolo. Sippy again. And it got the shot away. Well, how on earth did that come about? Seemed to be fighting for possession with Cassio, and all of a sudden there was a shot nearly on target.
Oh, it had some venom on it as well. It was on Eugene Galekovic in a real hurry. Almost a snapshot. It was a little messy. But then Sippy, Cassio just pulling out of the 50-50 and Sippy driving the football on target and just over the crossbar. Galekovic had to react in a hurry.
Great power in the shot from Sippy. Would have been an inquest into what Cassio was doing if they had scored from that. He pulled out of that challenge, didn't fancy it at all, and there have been no yellow cards in this game. It's been pretty freewheeling. Calm defending from Makoto. Hingett just taking his time. Last touch off Cassio. There's been a lot of talk, of course, in recent months about the Fury, so uncertain about their future and how much it's contributing to performances like this. Here's Spaniolo. Another attack for the Fury. Cernak trying to make room for the shot. Back to Williams. Poking it through to Hingett, who's got forward. Now Talak looking for Cernak. Staying on the front foot though, the Fury, through McDonald. Sippy's the outlet. Sustained possession from the visitors. Desperate for a consolation at Spaniolo, diving in, so was Bogart. Corner given. I mentioned it before, how tough for the players, and we're probably seeing it now, building to a climax with this sort of performance, not knowing where their future lies.
Yeah, very difficult times for all involved at the club. Well, there is pride at stake. There's individual futures as well.
Getting towards that January 31 deadline, of course, when they've been told to come up with 1.5 million, and they asked the FFA for an extension to that deadline, and the FFA is going to come back to them next week and let them know whether they've got any more time. So if they're asking for an extension, you'd say they might be struggling at the moment. Dodd again the target. Hingett did really well to work the neck muscles to keep that one in. Sippy rewards the run of the right back, who goes to ground. No foul. They want one. Sippy with some time. Got Nickus in support. Flores back to take it away. Might be a trick or two to come here too. Brilliant from Flores. He's been everywhere. Now Cassio finds him. Good effort from Hingett, who won all ball. Flores gets the whistle there.
Yeah, the angle of the challenge that time, what the referee ruled on. As he said, from our positioning, it looked as though he made a clean take on the football.
Adelaide United preparing their first substitution. It's not Matthew Leckie just yet. It's going to be Paul Reed on for Usuka. The Uruguayan getting a great hand, impressing with every minute that goes by in his Adelaide United career. Good reception for Paul Reed on as well.
Nice, handy, experienced replacement to come into that midfield. We know they've got their issues in the centre of the defence, but elsewhere on the park they're starting to find some genuine options.
I was just about to point out in the first half who they've signed. They've signed a Croatian under-21 international, Adelaide United, Dario Vodricic. So he's another option in the heart of the park. So it may not be Cornthwaite and Bogart alongside each other when Fife departs.
Also seen Sama Malik spend some time in that position. I think he's more naturally suited to midfield, but can fill in there. So all of a sudden, squad depth starting to look quite healthy for Rooney Coolen.
Rooney Coolen thanked the Fury during the week for releasing Osama Malik ahead of time. He was scheduled to join them at season's end, but they got the all clear, of course, with Fife moving on. They wanted that cover, as you say, with his versatility. So Osama Malik is a red again.
Well, the festive season may be over, but they're still enjoying themselves.
They've probably gone to the programs and done their maths and worked out a sixth goal is what they want to reclaim second spot. Got a long time to get that sixth goal and perhaps more. Mind you, the Fury, look, a chance to get at least the consolation here. Here's Cernak. Finding Spaniolo, just let it run. Cernak almost gave up on it in the middle. Spaniolo did well to carve out a cross. Flores just read that turn from Talay. Flores going to work. Van Dijk timing his run right through the middle again. Van Dijk! Well, he sold the keeper with his eyes and stuck it in the bottom corner. They do have 6.
And how many times do we have to say it? Every time the Fury push up the field, they leave that open space in behind. He is too good, Marcos Flores. Once he's got that radar locked in, he had a couple of options for the pass. It looked like Ramsey was the initial obvious one, but he was always looking for Van Dijk straight through the middle. And then he is clinical, a master craftsman anywhere near the goal. He took it to his favourite left side and then he placed it inch perfect inside that far corner. That's a wonderful piece of finishing.
I've heard of no-look passes, but what about the no-look shot? Van Dijk was looking the other way. Once he'd sized up where that bottom corner was, and he fired it past Passfield. 15 on the season for Sergio Van Dijk. He's chasing that record of Shane Smeltz, isn't he, for goals in a season now. Well, they're in the record books as it stands alongside Melbourne and Wellington, but they might be there on their own in a moment. Here's a chance! Paul Reed with the effort that time, the substitute trying to get in on the act. Only just over the bar.
Oh, and again, Travis Dodd causing the havoc down the right-hand side. Reed the snap shot. He's perhaps sensing that Passfield got something on it. But again, Adelaide United full throttle in the front third.
Running towards their cop end, and you saw a few of these guys on the replay that they're pretty sure Passfield got a touch there and they should have had a corner, but mind you, the Fury needs some sort of respite here. And we're just about on average too, just a shade under 11,000. The average is just over 11,000 at Hindmarsh, and those who've turned out tonight will remember this one just about as long as that long-awaited win over the Victory, if they can ram home a record here.
And they're wonderful supporters here in Adelaide. It was a miserable season last year, but they stuck with this team, and they've been rewarded this season with some stunning displays. As we said, it's become a real occasion, Friday night football at Hindmarsh. What a night tonight.
Bogard off and Cornthwaite on. Bogard just coming back from the groin problem, so 69 minutes and 3 points safe in the bags, enough for him.
A real luxury for Rinnie Coolin at this stage of the season to be able to ease players back into first team action or just take some of the kilometres off their legs. It'll be interesting to see what he actually chooses to do with Matthew Leckie.
Williams, who was in a long chat with the referee, gets the whistle that time. Cornthwaite giving away the free kick. Fired out to Cernak. Hughes has gotten forward for the Fury. They won't want to turn it over and see another Reds counter-attack, but Cernak's doing really well here, finding Hughes. Little punch from Galekovic, not the best. Did well second time around to save the shot from Williams with his right leg. Don't stop now, say the Reds fans, as Ramsey just held it up for a moment. Why are they going backwards? You can hear groans. Not content with 6, the Hindmarsh faithful. Flores, he'll go forward. Like the ball was on to Dodd, but he just dwelt on it, Flores. The first half mistake he's made all night. Now Cernak, nice ball to Spaniolo. He just paused on his run at the key moment. Now Nickas, a consolation for the Fury, and what a goal it is from Panny Nickas.
Well, they had a wonderful opportunity just moments earlier when Williams was denied by Galekovic. But that was a stunning strike. Silky from Nickus. And against the run of play, a consolation for North Queensland. Well, they've had plenty of possession in that front third and haven't been able to find the clinical moment. Well, that doesn't get much more clinical than that from Paddy Nickus. Inch perfect.
What a way to open his account in the Hyundai A-League, and the former Mariner is being cheered on by his former club because he's got them back into second spot as it stands. Here's Ramsey. Nice weight on the pass to Cassio. Made room for a cross. Dodd nodding it down, looking for Flores. Quick feed again. He finds Flores this time. Flores trying to chip one. A cheeky chip looking to complete his hat-trick.
Oh, Marcus Flores, a wry smile. He was trying to conjure something special. And Paddy Nickus did a good job of sticking tight to him.
Sippy, he's got space. Hingett with a few options in the middle, but can't get it past big Robbie Cornthwaite. Sippy, nice turn. Good ball to Hingett. Quick feet and a nutmeg on Cassio, but too much weight on it. Well, there's been encouraging sides for Lorenzo Sippy since he's come on, but here's another look back at the finish from Nickus.
Yeah, it was wonderful work from Nickus. Probably the first time he decided he wasn't looking for other options. He was going to take responsibility. The bending ball with the right foot.
Flores just not keen to chase that one, so perhaps running out of legs a little. Wonder if that GPS monitor still works to work out how far he has run tonight. Cassio, well read. Ball just going out of play ahead of a very excited Adelaide United substitute. Rennie Coulin has Matthew Leckie just about ready. Cassio away from Sippy. Dodds at the far post, spotted. Trying the first time effort. Nice execution from Dodd.
That was a lovely ball, clipped over the back. You saw Bradley McDonald, he was running back. He knew he was going to struggle to get there, and Travis Dodd knew that as well.
If he'd scored that one, that would have been top of the pops. Here's Hingett though. There's plenty of room for the Fury. Not sure there's ever been a comeback from 6-0 down in the history of world football, has their trimmers, but they're getting some chances.
And especially with 15 minutes remaining on the clock, but they have continued to give everything, the Fury. And as we said, they've had some good moments in that front third. What they haven't had is that clinical execution that the Adelaide United side have found tonight.
Listen to the applause. The wait is over. October 29. Matthew Leckie, he was on fire at the top of his game and he was cut down at Etihad by Surat Suka, and now he's back. And if they've been exposed for a lack of pace already, look out.
You can see how much that means to the fans here. He was the one who really set them alight in the early part of the season, Matthew Leckie.
Of course, he signed with the Bundesliga club, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he wants game time to make sure when he does go at season's end, he's ready to go. You don't want to go there underdone. It's tough enough to break into the first team at the best of times. Here's Williams backing in on Cornthwaite. Cernak has had his share of touches since coming on. Not sure who he's looking for there. But when you look at this team and the performance they're putting on tonight, not just the Mariners in that race for second spot, but Brisbane Roar, who everyone think can do it in a canter now. Who's playing the better football at the moment?
Well, I'll tell you what, on their performance tonight, Adelaide United, just that movement in the front third, the precision with the passing and the finishing. I think what you have to take into account, though, is the Fury are out of low ebb at the minute.
Well defended by McDonald, who had Leckie for company there as Flores tried to go to work. Again, Nickers has the run of the park through the middle. Sippy. Cassio went to ground. Sippy kept it alive well. Picked up a little knock in the process. Hingett thinks about putting it out, but Sippy's back to his feet. Cotto. Well, that's just like the passing of the first half from the centre half. Cheers as Leckie gets his first meaningful touch. Might get another here if Van Dijk can flick it on, but Hughes made the header his own. Now Van Dijk. Here's Leckie away. No teammates in the middle just yet. Not a bad ball by Leckie. Dodd was arriving. What a contribution so very nearly was from the youngster.
Oh, he put the ball in a teasing position, didn't he? He cut it back behind Hughes. It was only the fact that Hingett was just half a yard ahead of Dodd that saved the day.
Wow, that almost beats last time from Studman. That hair's in another postcode, isn't it?
A little bit of rockabilly in there, Speedy.
Last time he was here, of course, he got sprung looking at himself on the big screen. Risky touch. Cassio pounced. Dodd looking for Flores, bending one to Van Dijk instead. Breaks for Leckie! Flashes just wide. That was the moment for the youngster.
Oh, it would have been the fairy tale return for Matthew Leckie. And off the boot, it looked good. But again, careless work by the Fury and then a clever ball from Dodd. And Van Dijk always in perfect position. Inadvertent clearance from McDonald. I'm not sure he knew too much about it. And then Leckie with the follow-up couldn't quite steer it on target.
Studman on for the captain, Talle. And he hands the armband over to Hughes. Wow. If you could just lop a little bit off for myself, I'd be grateful.
I'll take a bit too, Speedy.
And there it is. He's well aware he got sprung last time. Just for the fans on the big screen, what do they call that, Trimmers? Called it the Kaniki from Greece hairdo last time around. Here's Cernak. Going to work on Watson. Here's a chance for Spaniolo. Good defensive scrambling from Cornthwaite. Leckie just missing Van Dijk. And then just the hunger to try and win it back off McDonald.
Well, that's the side of Matthew Leckie's game that is often overlooked. That willingness to do the dirty work.
Had he not been injured, of course, he may well have been at the Asian Cup. So disappointing time on the sidelines as Williams drives one.
Frustration continues in the front third for North Queensland. Again, good field position. Cernak was wanting Williams to go one way. Williams wanted the ball in another position. In the end, neither got what they wanted, and the move came to nothing.
No one has ever scored 7 goals in the Hyundai A-League. 6 has been the best. Can Adelaide United find another one in the last 10 minutes or so? Dodd almost played in by the back pass from Hingett. Reed's going to be offside here, that's why he let it run. He's checking with the assistant whether he can afford to close down or not. Hughes won the header, but he was all over Nicholas in the process. What about that? Hughes winning it back fairly that time, but more robust in that challenge. Here's Sippy. Looking for Spaniolo, but that's easy for Hughes and Fife to sort out. Flores demanding it. Reed ran the other way. Now he's got Dodd. Big switch is on here. They come to Leckie. Isolated against McDonald. Lovely first touch. Watson overlapping. Nice ball from Leckie. Watson standing it up. Van Dijk! They're in 7th heaven. Adelaide United, the first A-League club to hit 7. And you'd fancy they're going 2nd spot tonight.
Too good, simply too good. The movement, the passing and the finishing. It's just illustrated the gap between these two sides. Wonderful work from Leckie. Just waited for the runner Watson, who was prepared this late in the game. 6 goals on the board already, but he wanted to contribute. And he cut it back, inviting for... What about the position that Van Dijk takes up? He knows exactly where that ball's going to come from that position on the byline. And then he punches the right foot volley. That's too easy for a man of that quality.
The 2nd hat-trick for Adelaide United in their history. Sergio Van Dijk joins Nathan Burns in that category. That's the Dutchman's 2nd hat-trick, of course. He got one for the Brisbane Roar. But more importantly, so far as the record books are concerned, they've got 7. Wonderful sound around Hindmarsh. Van Dijk leaves that one for a Cotto.
We talk about the quality of Serge Van Dijk and just the range he has in his game. He scores goals from every conceivable position. Close range headers, looping headers, long range shots, free kicks. Is there anything he can't do in front of goal?
Here's Cassio. Van Dijk waits for a 4th, perhaps. Reed. Nice control to get away from Studman. Here's Leckie again. Key contributor in that last goal. Showing the physical stuff too. Nudge from Williams on Hughes. Well, the Fury can't wait for this one to end. McDonald. Williams on the burst through the middle, played in delightfully. Shot flashes wide, and Adelaide United cling on to 2nd spot as it stands.
Again, it was the adventure. Bradley McDonald, we've seen it a couple of times in this half. A lovely ball into the space for Williams. Didn't quite have his angle. It was awkward to hit with the inside of the foot from that angle. Was always going to beat that post.
I think it was PSV earlier this season in the Dutch league that racked up 10, maybe against Feyenoord from memory. And a Dutchman with 3 tonight. Surely they can't get to double figures. Cassio. Winning the free kick. He was trying to open up the angles to find Dodd. Going to leave it for Reid to whip one in. They're all getting forward, looking for an eighth. Cornthwaite and Fife entering the box too.
It's a rare sight, really, isn't it? Cassio's been rather subdued tonight. So often, wonderful performances from Adelaide involve him heavily.
Reid, delightful ball! Well, how's 2 hat-tricks sound? Flores has got 3-2. And don't rule out 10. They're up to 8 already. They're waving the red flags, but have the Fury waved the white one?
Oh, Marcus Flores. He's shown his full repertoire tonight. You wouldn't expect him to score 2 goals in one game with his head, but it was the quality of the delivery from Reid. And then a little bit loose. I think it was Nickers. Just didn't get close enough. And the easiest of finishes. He lost Nickers in the traffic, and then he beat Passfield with the glancing header.
I'll tell you who are celebrating. Blokes around the country have loaded up their team in the Fantasy A-League with Adelaide United players. Flores and Van Dyke, one of them is captain. Look out, you'll be storming to the top of the standings. Fury will be hoping there's no stoppage time played at all. As they go for a 9th here. Reid, handball against Hughes, surely. Well, cynical stuff from the centre half, but he may well have stopped another. It's a night they'll never forget, the Reds fans. The night they ran roughshod over the Fury. Sippy. Well, that probably sums up the night because he had Nickers unmarked through the middle. Here's Flores. Williams desperate in the challenge court. The Argentine. Here's Leckie. First touch was delightful again as he goes to work on McDonald. Does not look rusty at all, Matthew Leckie. After all that time out, nigh on 4 months. Hughes being closed down, but it breaks for Cassio. Just about to find out how much stoppage time there will be. Hughes' header. Williams flick onto Spagnolo. He's offside. Can you believe that scoreline, Trimmers?
I can't. We spoke about at 4-0 at half-time. The challenge for Adelaide was, could they keep that rhythm? Could they play the full 90 minutes? Certainly proven that they could. That's what Rennie Coulin would have wanted them to do.
Here's Leckie. Just 1 minute of stoppage time, but it may be enough time. It's almost like the mercy rule in some other sports, the way they put up 1 minute of stoppage time. I don't think I've ever seen 1 minute of stoppage time in an A-League game.
Especially with all the substitutions that have taken place, plus the goals. But you can hardly blame the referee.
Nickers. Sippy let it run. If he'd taken it on, he might have been through it one-on-one. Will they be allowed to play? as the 1 minute of stoppage time ticks by. Don't blow it up, referee. They're having too much fun. Referee does check his watch as they go for Dodd. And he won't have time to try and whip in across. In fact, the offside flag has gone up. So not quite the full-time whistle just yet. What a wonderful reception around Hindmarsh, their Adelaide United team. Are record breakers tonight. The most goals by a team in a game with 8. The biggest winning margin by 7 goals. And it's the most goals we've seen in a game of the Hyundai A-League. It equals that record with 9. Travis Dodd was a key contributor, particularly in that first half. But it was Marcos Flores who ran the show tonight. Take a while to get through these goal scorers for you. A hat-trick for Van Dijk, a hat-trick for Flores, Dodd and Ramsey with the other goals, while Nickus got the ultimate consolation. At full time, Adelaide United 8, North Queensland Fury 1. Well, the most incredible result. And Adelaide United back into second spot. They couldn't have even dreamt of doing that tonight, but they've done it in a canter. Let's go down to Mel McLaughlin.
Thanks very much. One of the goal-scoring heroes, multiple really. Congratulations, Sergio, on your first hat-trick for the club.
Yeah, it's always good to score a goal, but 3 in a row, that's really good. So, that's what I'm here for.
All in the second half. Did you feel like you weren't involved in enough of the action in the first half?
Yeah, I thought, I was thinking like, it's 4-0 after the first half, and I'm not even on the score sheet. That's strange. But now, I knew if we kept on playing like the first half, a lot of pressure, high work rate, that we create enough chances to score. And lucky I was on the end of on the balls.
And do you know that no A-League team has ever put 8 past anybody? Sorry?
Okay.
No A-League team has ever put 8 goals past any team?
Yeah, so that's also a good record for us then. This game is a good win, but all the games that are coming are really important, and we have to win every game. So.
You've got an important run coming up. Thanks very much and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Another goal-scoring hero, multiple. Travis, congratulations. Have you played better this season or ever?
Well, it was a fantastic night, an outstanding team performance, and whatever we tried came off tonight. So it's great for the confidence for the team and for the boys going into the back end of the season.
A fantastic performance from yourself. And what about all this talk? I have to ask about this contract speculation regarding yourself. That's a pretty big statement at a time like this tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's still ongoing and nothing's been finalised yet, but performances like that, just got to keep working and focusing on playing games and scoring goals, getting points on the board.
What does staying at this club mean to you?
Oh, look, I've been for 6 years and I'd love to end my career here, so there's nothing better than the home supporters and to be an Adelaide boy representing the club as captain. It's a fantastic honour, and it does, it means the world to me.
You've done yourself no harm with that performance. What about having Matthew Leckie back?
Yeah, it's great. You can see what he brings to the team, and he's a fan favourite. So we just need to get him fit, and another devastating player to have come back in the side running into the final. So, it's headache selections for the coach, I guess.
Yeah, devastating is a great word to describe Adelaide United tonight. Just finally, what about this tough battle going down to second spot with Central Coast Mariners?
Yeah, it's going to be a big battle. We're even now points, but they got the game in hand, so we need to keep winning and put the pressure on Central Coast.
Thanks very much. Well done.
No worries. Thanks, Mel.
Yes, Travis Dodd saying that he wants to stay with the club. Perth Glory, a 3-year deal according to press reports. Watch this space on that one. Now, look back at the goals. This might wipe out the need for a post-game show. It's going to